The world is overrun with false ideas, and the pressure is heavy to conform to them. Everyone wants to have a voice in not only how we are supposed to think, but even what we are supposed to think. Here are some of the things coming across the wire right now. Every white person is automatically racist, and no black person can be racist unless they're conservatives.
All white people are racist.
Math is racist. Astronomy is racist. Architecture is racist. Highways are racist, and logic is racist. The government should pay for most things for you. Transgenderism is both good science and good society. Anyone who doesn't buy into transgender ideology should be despised as both ignorant and hateful. The American Medical Association strengthened its established position that gender-affirming care is essential to a healthy society. If you're a black person, you must vote Democrat.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
If you're really a woman, you must vote for any woman who's on the ballot.
First of all, when I refused to support Hillary Clinton back in 2016, I was like, so many people were like, Tulsi, how dare you? You're a woman. How dare you not support this woman? She's gonna be the first female president this country's ever had. And how could you? And my response to them always was, both privately and publicly, was, how dare you?
Exactly.
How dare you reduce me to my parts or my biology or my sex and think that I don't have a brain, like I don't have a mind, I don't have my own views to be able to actually look at a person, male or female, and figure out, okay, well, is this person the best person to lead the country?
If you're really a Christian, you should be fully accepting of all things LGBTQIA+ in the name of love.
And then, predictably, Amy sticks with the tried and true argument of, I'm affirming homosexual behavior because I believe that Christians are called to be loving. This is the bread and butter of the progressive Christian worldview, and it's fundamentally unbiblical to its very core. Let's read what Amy actually said. Quote, honestly, from a faith perspective, I do always say, Jesus, you just narrowed it down to two things. Love God and love each other. I mean, hey, that's pretty simple. End quote.
Pro-life pregnancy centers are criminal. Men have wombs, have periods, and can get pregnant. The blasphemous and pornographic Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence get a Community Heroes Award. Schools get to sexualize our children and transition them without parental consent. Children should be taught to embrace an almost endless field of genders, including even fantasy figures like minotaurs. I'll tell you, the country has now shifted from the absurd to sheer fantasy. What is unbelievable to me is how many people, even allegedly educated people, are being completely sucked in. Well, we can't allow this. Somebody has to stand up for reason and reality, so it might as well be us. Lots of people are standing up now, but the pressure is ever downward. This is one of the many examples where just because something has consensus support doesn't make it true.
Dave Chappelle got in trouble over his Netflix special, The Closer, that was criticized as homophobic, transphobic, and misogynistic. In your mind, did he cross the line?
Did Dave Chappelle cross the line? Yes, no. It immediately puts me in a position where I have to choose a side when I think that the matter is a lot more complex than that. I think everybody is defining the line for themselves.
No, society defines a line.
You see what you're saying now is you're saying society has decided. But America is clearly divided in that half of society has gone like, no, Dave Chappelle, we love what you said. We're sick of wokeness. We're sick of people being told what to say. We're sick of not knowing how to use the right pronoun. You're right, Dave Chappelle. So then if half of society is saying Dave Chappelle is right and half of society is saying that he's wrong, then that means there is no line. It means society is seeing the line from two different sides. And so that's why I say you cannot say, did he cross the line? Because which side are you looking at the line from defines whether or not he crossed it.
What we are seeing is a full-out cultural, academic, constitutional, and religious assault against biblical values and worldviews, as well as against reason, truth, and reality. It's nothing short of a sadistic and masochistic ritual to eliminate all things that are rational and coherent. You see, when we remove religion and reason from the public square, all that is left is self, crime, and nonsense. There's this hubris that people can say or do whatever they want. But when it comes right down to it, what it really is a new religion, a manufactured mythology of self, privilege, and power that can blaspheme Christianity, regulate economics, change the definition of justice, ignore science, justify crime, and manipulate politics to advance a religion of dominance based on an ideology of fraudulence. 2 Corinthians 2:11 talks about taking certain actions so that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. So if you know how the enemy thinks and how he works out his plan, you have less a chance of being taken in.
Why do you think marriage has reduced in the Western world? Why do you think less people are getting married than before?
Conditioning. It's all about social conditioning, and it's about the feminist messaging. Going back to our conversation about the matriarchy, they've totally conditioned women to believe that marriage is a trap, that you are going to be unhappy, that you are going to be sacrificing your freedom, when in reality, I got more freedom than I ever had when I became married, because I finally became a secure woman. I knew what my purpose in life was when I had children. Everything else is so stupid and meaningless. How could you think you were going to find your purpose at the bottom of a Red Bull vodka at One Oak, Candace?
Now, there are 4 ways to fight evil. Each individual in their own conscience, each family in their own home, each congregation in their own church, and the government. For evil to win, they have to break down the conscience, the family, the church, and the government. And you can see them working on all 4 of these fronts. And this is where we have to fight evil in our own hearts, in our own homes, in our own churches, and in our own government. If we don't wake up soon, all is lost. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Instead, he who has eyes, let him see. He who has ears, let him hear. And those with brains need to think.